وقف الطفل وحده والليالي ورصاص من حوله وجنود وقف الطفل والحجاب.
This guy, he dials a wrong number and a girl picks up. And from her voice, he feels that she's beautiful. And I'll tell you an interesting psychological point here. Psychologists say that this is one thing that humans can almost never get right. Hear someone's voice and picture what they look like accurately. It's almost never that way. And I used to have a radio show, and when people would see me in person, they would always say the same thing. You're Kamal al-Makki? You're Kamal al-Makki? Like, yeah, I'm Kamal al-Makki. No problem with that. So he calls up with this, he does this wrong number. The girl picks up, and from her voice, he feels that she's pretty, So he starts chatting with her, macking and stuff. And so they agreed to meet. He said, where do you want to meet? He said, we'll meet at the juice place. So okay, 12 o'clock, we'll meet at the juice place. She said, how am I going to recognize you? He said, I'm going to be holding a glass of mango juice. And he said, how am I going to know you? She said, I'm going to wear a dress, this color, and that shape, and so on and so forth. So he goes to the juice place, a little bit before 12. Can I get a glass of mango juice? I'm sorry, we're fresh out of mango juice. What? Do you have anything else that's orange in color, orange juice, anything? No. Only thing he found was some lemonade. So he takes the lemonade, he's just standing holding lemonade. 12 o'clock, the girl walks in, wearing the dress that she promised and everything. But he realized that she is really, really unattractive. So he's like, alhamdulillah, they didn't have any mango juice. So she walks up to him, says, aren't you Hassan? He's like, excuse me? She's like, aren't you Hassan? He's like, no, I'm not Hassan. I've never heard no Hassan. She's like, she recognized his voice. She says, no, you're Hassan. He's like, no, I don't know any. You're Hassan. We spoke on the phone. We said we're going to meet here. He said, what's the matter with you, woman? Does this look like mango juice to you?
And the same applies to the spouse. You know you love them, but you need to say it again and again. Like we got to the food moments ago, and you need to say this food is, mashallah, it's really, really great. Even if the salt is a little bit more. Because sometimes, as I was saying, she spends so much time bringing it in front of us, and we are worried about how it's smelling, number one. And number two is we say, as we taste it, the salt is too much, no? Salt is too much, no? What are you talking about? She just looks at you and her face flops. I've been at it for 3 hours here, 4 hours. I've been busy with this for so many months. And what is she going to say? Next time I'll try a bit better, a bit harder. That's if she's a good woman. If not, she'll say, never going to cook this again. Typical. It's typical. Never going to cook this again. And if you have someone who's very witty, the next time there's salt to be put in, I'll call you to put it. So we need to praise the cooking of our wives. We need to praise their dress code, especially. For example, I can let you know something that has worked for some people. Where you find some women, they don't like to dress appropriately. So the husband sometimes wants to tell them something. There are 2-3 ways of doing it. You can either say, this is very bad, I don't want you to wear this. And you might have a response. But if you want a response from the heart, what you do is, you tell them, the other dress looked much better than this. You see, so you are praising one thing, and that praise is not there when the other thing is there. So you have told them in a way that this is what I really love. And go beyond the limits in praise. That's your wife, don't worry. You can say whatever you want to. MashaAllah, in terms of goodness. Like the food, when you eat, even if it is a little bit this way, that way, just praise it, MashaAllah. See what it is. Praise the effort at least, MashaAllah, Let me tell you what has happened once. They say the Imam in the masjid said, in fact, 2 things have come to my mind. The Imam in the masjid said, you need to praise the cooking of your wife, just like I said now. So the man went home and he had this meal and he was looking at it and looking at his wife and smiling and all happy, mashallah, and excited and everything. And when he finished, he says, oh, it was awesome. And the wife says, what? I've been cooking for you for 21 years, you never said that. Today when the food came from the neighbor, you want to say it was awesome. So he says, oh, I'm sorry about that, I didn't know. It's like the other one, the Imam, he was telling the people, He gave them advice in the masjid about their wives, that look, you need to do this and do that. So the man goes home very happy. He tells his wife, darling, I'd like to carry you today. Oh, wow. Oh, I hope I'm not too heavy, darling. You know. So anyway, he carries his wife, mashallah, and he's carrying. What makes you do this, my beloved? What's happening here? Oh, the Imam told us, go home and carry your burdens, mashallah. You're carrying my burden, mashallah. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
And this was, you know, I became a chaplain. A chaplain means a religious, the head of a religious in a certain denomination for the Christians, or Islam for Muslims. So the head of all the chaplaincy, he said, Saeed, let me introduce you to different faculties and departments that we have at the university. I said, cool. His name was Marcel, a preacher. So I said, Marcel, let's go. So we went. So I told him, Marcel, I'm a Muslim. You see the way I dress? See my little kufi? That's a sign that I'm a Muslim. And I don't shake hands with women. Right? I don't shake hands with women. So he said, understood Imam Saeed. So every time when we walk into a department, he says, everybody, this is Imam Saeed. And then people say, hi. He said, but he doesn't shake hands with women. He doesn't shake hands with women. So everybody's like, okay, okay. And the guy's like, how are you? And the woman's like, how are you, sir? How are you? And everything is cool. Except for one department. One department, I walk into, and this is right in front of the fitness place. I went to this department, and everybody came, like 9, 10 people. So he said, everybody, this is Imam Saeed. And everybody, but he doesn't shake hands. They said, oh, okay. So women were, in one of the offices is one of those ladies. You know, have you ever met, you know, these ladies who, mashallah, they wear, you know, they're so skin like they miswax, mashallah, and then they wear high heels, and they think that they could not buy anything except the shortest thing, and then she's wearing short, tight clothes, and I was like, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. You know, alhamdulillah, she's on the phone, she's not gonna come, alhamdulillah. Now, I wasn't looking her way. And he said, but she was on the phone and she can see us from the mirror, from the glass. And she's like, hi. And I was like, and all of a sudden, she came and she's running on high heels. And she's running. I said, how are you? And Marcel said, no, he doesn't shake hands. And she said, oh, that's okay. Come on, honey. And she hugged me. Now, I didn't know what to do. I was in the state of shock. I'm like this, and she's hugging me. And she's like, oh, you're so nice. Wallahi, I did not know what to do. And I'm thinking, if I push her away, I'll touch more of her. If I say like this, she's not getting off me. What should I do? I said, just let her finish. What else can you do? Just let her finish. You know, and I'm saying, excuse me, I don't shake hands. She's like, oh, it's okay, honey. You know, and she's really hugging. I mean, hugging from her heart. And I was like, and then Marcel, like, he's like, sorry. I said, understood. And she's like, how are you? And I says, fine. Now she's standing there, alhamdulillah, and I took a few steps back in case she changed her mind. And then this other lady comes, and she said, how are you? And that lady, she voluntarily, she said, oh, he doesn't shake hands, he hugs. Give him a hug. And the lizard, no, 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 thank you. No hugs.
There's this man, right? Basically, the Emir, right, announces that every man in the country has to take a second wife, right? So this guy, his wife is very, very tough, and he knows that there is no way ever she is going to let him get a second wife, and he is, you know, and he doesn't know what to say, right? So he goes back to his wife, right? And he's crying. He's, you know, he's really in a state. He's crying and he's so upset. And his wife's saying, Habibi, Habibi, what's wrong? He said, the Emir said, he said that we have to, every man in the kingdom has to get a second wife, or he will execute the man who does not get a second wife. She's quiet for a minute, and then she goes, Alhamdulillah, it's good news. Then he goes, why? He said, you'll die a shaheed. Allah,